saying a 30% chance of a 25 basis cut reduction by the end of July and a full 25 by year end. And then you get maybe a little bit of cuts next year. It's a fine tuning. I generally agree with that because inflation is not an issue and we are losing some momentum.
As the 21st century began, human evolution was at a turning point. Natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits.
On the growth number. So, yes, it makes sense to me.
This view, though, that was put forth on Friday by
Scott, would you hold on a second? The data was a little better today. I want to call the White House, and that's what they think the Fed ought to do.
The data.
Yeah,
the
Larry.
data,
oh, okay, still 50. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Most science fiction of the day predicted a future that was more civilized and more intelligent. But as time went on, things seemed to be heading in the opposite direction, a dumbing down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of America! President Camacho! Shut up!
So,
yeah, they're running it out of the White House now.
I thought the point of view put forth on Friday was nothing short of stunning, in that the economy is doing great. The President says it's the best economy we've ever had. The stock market is, as I said, now 80 points away from a new all-time high. But just in case, we need to immediately cut interest rates by 50 basis points.
President Camacho stood before the world and promised everyone that Joe would solve all their problems. He would not only end the Dust Bowl and heal the economy, but he would cure acne and car sickness as well. And if he didn't, President Camacho made another promise. He would kick Joe's smart balls all the way up to the roof of his smart mouth, and then he would throw his brainy ass back in jail.
What do you make of that?
I'm a little speechless on this one, Scott. And when this first happened, I said that it should be nipped in the bud right now because it's a slippery slope. And where does a slippery slope lead to? It leads to the pit.
How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
Now we're sort of like deep in the pit of the White House essentially trying to run Federal Reserve policy.
Yes, my boy!
So, yes, rates should be lower.
It's different from letting the people you appointed to do something in an independent way get there on their own.